Hi lovelies! Today I'm going to be reviewing The Secret of a Heart Note by Stacey Lee. This book came out on December 17th, 2016, and it's a young adult contemporary novel with a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of magic. And it's about this teenage girl named Mimosa, Mim, and she's one of the only two aromatures in the entire world, her and her mother. And basically they have this like superhuman nose. They can smell like really well, and they use this to make love elixirs. And being one of the only two is a lot of responsibility, but she wants to be like a normal teenage girl. She wants to go to school, she wants to make friends and join clubs, and like her mother finally relents to her and she finally gets to go to school. She tries her best to balance out all her responsibilities as an aromature and school, but things go a little bit haywire when she gets distracted and she accidentally gives the love elixir to the wrong woman. And what doesn't help is that she is the mother of the school's soccer star, and now she has to get his help, and it doesn't help that he is very charming and cute, and that wouldn't seem like a problem, but the thing is, when aromatures fall in love, they lose their heightened sense of smell and they just get an ordinary nose. And obviously that's a very big deal. So she has to try her best to get out of the predicament while also trying her darn tootin' best to not have feelings for this really sweet, nice guy. I really love the concept of the aromatures, and I thought it was really different and interesting, and you could tell that the author put a lot of thought into it. Like, different types of feelings have different smells, like anger is burnt tires and heartache is blueberries. And I think having a story of one of the past aromatures would be really cool. And honestly, like, I think this is the most I've read about plants in any book. And it would be very easy for it to be very boring and you just want to be skimming and just kind of glaze over when all these different types of plants come up and you're just like, I don't know what they are, like, I don't really care, I'm not a gardener. But the author's writing and the main character and just the whole concept makes it really interesting. Mim is such a sweet and likable character. I really loved seeing the growth she had throughout the book and seeing her get a sense of self. And even when things weren't going the best for her, she was still trying her hardest. And I also really loved the relationship she had, not just romance, but also friendships and family. I really love that there were actual parental figures in the book and her relationship with her mom just felt very real. It felt layered and honest. And I also really loved the relationship between Callie and Mim. Like, you could tell that they really cared for each other even when things were happening between them. And like, Callie was her own person. Like, she's Samoan and she likes to write poetry and she isn't just the main character's friend. And I think it'd be really cool if the author would write like a novella from Callie's point of view, and I think a lot of people would want to read that. Then there's the budding romance between Mim and Court, and it's just so adorable and so sweet. And you see Mim trying her best not to be affected by Court and his charm and his good looks and just all around him being a nice guy. And the diverse array of characters just felt very real and just very natural, like real life, where people just are who they are. And none of it felt stereotypical, like Vicky, the antagonist, she's Latina, but she's not the antagonist because she's Latina. It's because she was doing cruel things, like threatening to reveal something really personal about Callie if Mim didn't do something about her. And there's also like a little bit of a love triangle between Court, Mim, and Vicky. But I think the author handles it really well. Like, she shows you the motivation behind her wanting to be with Court and also why she doesn't really like Mim. It's not just about a boy, but also not excusing what she does. Overall, The Secret of a Heart Note is about love. Love of family, love of friends, romantic love, love of hobbies and interest, and also about self-love. And it's just such a sweet and heartfelt young adult contemporary romance with a touch of magic. And if that sounds like your thing, then I really do recommend it. I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. And now I wanted to get in a little bit more in depth. I wanted to talk about some things that are a bit more spoilery. So if you haven't read it and you don't want to get spoiled, thank you so much for watching. Okay, so now it's gonna get a little bit more spoilery. You have been warned. I can't believe that Mimosa and her family are aliens, that they got their superhuman nose thing because they're not human, they're actually aliens. And if you're thinking, what, really? No, you probably haven't read the book if you actually believe that they are aliens. This is your last warning, because what I'm going to talk about are going to be the actual spoilers now, okay? Okay. I wish that Vicky would have gotten her comeuppance. I'm not talking about like a punishment, but just like a consequence. And yeah, she does develop that friendship, and you can tell that maybe later on that she will go to people and be like, hey, you know, I really did some messed up things, I want to apologize. But like, I just wish that she would have had a consequence for what she was trying to do with Kelly. Because even in the end, she was so like, oh yeah, I knew about Kelly and stuff before anybody, acting like she just wasn't trying to out her herself, and it was just pretty messed up, and I just wish she would have had some sort of consequence to that. The next thing is that I don't think Mim and Court are actually in love at the end of the book. I think she thinks that because she's like, oh, I lost my sense of smell, I must be in love. I must be in love with Court. I must have fallen in love. And I'm not saying that they don't care for each other. I think they really do. I just don't think that it's love just yet. That she was just thinking that because of the whole, oh, I lost my sense of smell. And speaking of sense of smell, was I the only one who was like, wait, well, you had that salt water, you were in the ocean, of course your nose is gonna be a little messed up. You talked about your mom eating something with salt and messing up her own nose. So when she was like, oh, I lost my sense of smell, I must be in love, this is horrible, I was thinking, well, wasn't it because of the salt? Wasn't it because of that more than the romance? And I was still reading with like a little bit of a slight possibility that the whole like, if you fall in love, you'll lose your sense of smell, your heightened sense of smell. But for the most part, I was still like, oh, it's probably the salt, everything's gonna be fine. And I wonder how many other people kind of correlated the salt to her losing her heightened sense of smell. And I want to mention again about a novella for Callie and her point of view, and seeing how Cassandra and her kind of came to be dates for homecoming. Because if you remember in the beginning, Cassandra was very like, I can't believe I have to share my spotlight with you. So I think that'd be really cool to see how that came about, and also see more about her family and also about her culture. I just think it'd be overall a really cool story to tell. So those are all the spoilery things I wanted to talk about, and let me know what you thought of the book. Let me know if like you also kind of saw that the salt messed with her nose, or did you actually believe that she lost her nose because she fell in love with Court? Or do you also not believe that she like truly is in love with Court? And then just also about the Vicky thing. Do you also think that she deserves her comeuppance? Because I still really do. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.